All right, we are back. And guys, for this video, I don't have notes. I don't have any kind of script written down. Normally, I would try to like write some stuff down, type some stuff out on a piece of paper and just like have some bullet points to hit. But like there is frankly no notes, nothing I can do to really gather my mind as to the announcement that we saw today. Because quite honestly, and I've been a sports fan for 13-ish years, like it's been a while, I have never seen an announcement or seen such a bombshell as to what I've seen today in the world of boxing. Yes, Jake Paul has rescheduled his fight after it got called off with Gervonta Tank Davis, which was supposed to happen this past Friday. He rescheduled not for a Tank rematch, not for Ryan Garcia, not for a Tommy Fury fight, not for a KSI fight, for a fight that nobody thought he would take, and for a fight that everybody thinks he's going to lose, and for everyone who thinks that they are right. How does Jake Paul win this fight? Jake just announced that on December 19th in Miami, Florida, he's going to be taking on heavyweight former world champion Anthony Joshua. Again, I'm at a loss for words. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to really talk about. But I guess let's try to dive into it and talk about it a little bit. Alright, so as many of you guys know, Jake Paul's fight with Gervonta Tank Davis was called off on November 14th. I actually had a video filmed and ready to release. I don't know why. Like, it never uploaded. Like, I had it uploaded on my iPad and it just never uploaded. And then by the time I got around to revisiting it, it was like 4 days after, and I was like, it's not even relevant anymore, so I just decided to not try to repost it. So I left the topic alone, knowing that Jake Paul was looking to reschedule his fight. And actually, I went over in that filmed video some possible opponents that he could face. I threw out the names like KSI, Tommy Fury, Ryan Garcia, Nate Diaz was being rumored. I said Francis Ngannou too, and for a while, that's the fight it looked like we were going to get. Francis and Jake were chirping back and forth on Twitter, and what a fumble from Francis Ngannou, someone who said that he's above this, like he doesn't need this. And then a couple weeks later, the guy that knocked him dead within 2 rounds is the one taking the Jake Paul fight. So big fumble from Francis Ngannou there. But when I filmed that video, the thought of Anthony Joshua did not cross my mind, and not because I didn't think Jake would eventually take this fight, because Jake has been talking for a couple of months now about the Anthony Joshua fight. He kept saying 2026, that would be the time that this gets done. And the reason I didn't think he would take the fight, and ultimately the reason I also didn't think he would really take the Francis Ngannou fight, is because of the size difference. Jake Paul's been in camp for however many weeks preparing for a natural 140-pounder in Tank Davis. Like, why jump up to Anthony Joshua, who, and by the way, it's just crazy. It's crazy to me that we're just casually throwing around the names Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua in the same fight. But it's been signed off. Like, it's here. It's going to happen. But, like, while we're talking about it, just on the topic, I guess, it just didn't make sense to me that Jake would jump up to fight the complete opposite of a 145-pounder and fight like a 250-pounder. It didn't make sense, but if I'm going to be completely honest, nothing in Jake Paul's boxing career has made sense. So, if anything, this kind of lines up with what Jake Paul has been doing. These have been Jake Paul's goals from the beginning. He wants big fights, and whether that's going to get him killed or not, most of the fights that he has fought have yet to have done that. This is the one that might put an end to his boxing career, and I like Jake. I want to see him continue to box, but this is risky. This is beyond risky. This is Anthony Joshua we're talking about, one of the best heavyweights on the planet. Like, has been in that upper class of heavyweight for the past 10 years. I mean, it was 10-ish years ago, 8 years ago, when he beat Vladimir Klitschko, someone that Tyson Fury couldn't even knock out. He outboxed him, and AJ went and knocked out Vladimir Klitschko, who was the best heavyweight in the world at the time. Like, are we forgetting this? Anthony Joshua is a killer. He's a heavyweight killer, and it takes the biggest set in the world for Jake Paul to sign off on this, knowing that this could very well be the end of his boxing career. He might not box again after this because of how big this risk is. But anyways, going back to my original point, I guess, the thought of Anthony Joshua did not cross my mind. And then back a week ago on Wednesday, I saw a post that said Jake and Anthony Joshua are finalizing a deal. It was before I had a church community group, and before I walked in, I just sat and read the article about how legitimate this was. And then I looked back to I believe it was a Sky Sports interview that Eddie Hearn, who is Matchroom Boxing's promoter and Anthony Joshua's promoter, I looked back to an interview that he did, and the verbiage that he was using about AJ taking a tune-up fight on a couple of weeks' notice, something to get the rust off, a quick little 8 to 10 round fight. It started making sense in my head that these two were genuinely in negotiations. I was like, there is no way. And for a second, I was like, no, it can't be. Like, there is no way. I forgot about it, got out of class today, look on Instagram, the first thing I see is a poster, not from Happy Punch, not from some random source that says, like, sources are saying. It was from Netflix. And then I saw one from Jake. And then I saw one from AJ. And then I saw one from Eddie. And then I saw one from Matchroom. And then I saw one from MVP. 6 different accounts, same poster, official, Miami, December 19th. It's happening. And the reason I'm so stunned by this is because I've never seen anything like this in sports. It's insane to me that, like, I mean, when you think about it, boxing and I guess maybe UFC, the MMA scene, like, is the only sports where something like this can happen. You get to a basketball game or a football game, the playing field is a lot more even. Like, you can't just, like, sign off on whoever you want to face. Well, I guess maybe in college you can a little bit, but still, that's football. No one's going to get hurt in football because of a mismatch. Like, not badly. Not in the way that in the sport of boxing it is. I know that technically, yes, it probably can happen, but not to this degree. Not to this upper echelon. Like, when Alabama schedules Eastern Illinois, yes, that's lopsided, and yes, maybe Eastern Illinois is going to come out the other side pretty banged up, but it's not like the biggest event in the world. This boxing's the only sport where you can have such a mismatch like this, and yet it is the biggest event of the calendar year, and I don't think it's going to be close. Like, this is so much more exciting than a Jake Paul for Gervonta Davis fight. It's a real fight. It's a professional bout. It's sanctioned. And Jake is in real danger, which is what the crowd and the audience and the people online have been waiting for. They want to see Jake Paul in danger. And if you're one of those people, you've got it with this fight. It is signed off. You have got Jake Paul in danger. And again, it's crazy to me that in 2017, Jake Paul was dancing on Vine or on Disney Channel as some small kid, and AJ was holding up every single heavyweight championship belt. Besides the WBC, I think Deontay Wilder was holding that at the time, actually. But you get my point. I'll come up with videos about how each person wins. Obviously, AJ is a straightforward as to how he can win this. He can win this in a million different ways. Jake's video will be a lot more interesting. Like, can he even do this? Is it possible? I'm going to have to sit and think a little bit about how Jake Paul wins this fight. But I will say, if, and I mean if, it's a big if Jake Paul beats Anthony Joshua, that will be the biggest upset, not just in the sport of boxing, not just in combat sports. That will be the biggest upset in sporting history. And I don't think it's close. I can't think of a single upset that would beat Jake Paul beating Anthony Joshua if that were to happen. But while I'm thinking about it right now, I give it a 95 to 5% shot. Maybe even less than that for Jake Paul. But I'm going to tune in regardless, because what a spectacle. Jake, you should have everyone's respect in the boxing world. It takes a lot of courage, regardless of belts or record or AJ being a tremendous favorite in this fight. It will be a spectacle. Like, the press conferences will be great. The build-up will be great. The anticipation of, can Jake Paul do this? Like, is it even possible? Is there any chance? It'll make people tune in. And ultimately, that's why Jake's doing it. Because he wants everyone and their mom to think he can't win this fight. And he's got it with this one. He has absolutely got it. with this one. Man, I've been watching boxing and sports for a long time, and I just can't think of anything that compares to this. So I'm excited. I know you guys are if you're fans of the sport of boxing. If you are wanting to see my content leading up to this fight, I will be coming out with a lot. Like, subscribe, and man, I mean, life is crazy when we have Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua in a boxing match. Life is crazy, and I'm blessed to be in an era where I get to cover these sort of things, because it's insane to me. As lopsided as it is, it's still insane to me. So I'm blessed to be able to say I can do that. But until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.